Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and welcome to another Summerween reading vlog. So for this part 2 Summerween reading vlog, I decided to make it a little bit different and I went on Instagram and asked you guys what should be the next horror books I read. So I'll post a picture here. I had 3 votes for you guys to vote on. I had Summerween book number 1, Summerween book number 2, and Summerween book number 3. So without further ado, let's see what you guys picked for me. So for book number 1, I had the blue book and I had the gray book. The gray book won by 79%, and the blue book only got 21% votes. So let's see what each book was. For the blue book, that was Cold Eternity by S.A. Barnes. This is a sci-fi horror book that just came out. And the other book that won that first vote is Monstrilio by Gerardo Samano Cordova. This one has been on my TBR for a long time. It's about this mom who basically carves out a small piece of her dying son, and he basically comes to life, but it's like, obviously it's not her son, it's a monster that comes back to life. So I've been looking forward to reading this one, so I'm really excited that I finally get to read this one and that you guys picked it. So that is the first pick. And for the second one, we had a red book and then a black book. The red book won by 53% and the black book had 47%. It was tied for a long time, but as you can see, the red book won. So for that one, the red book is Jackal by Aaron E. Adams. And this one is like a horror mystery. So Liz Rocher comes back to Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which is a predominantly white town, and someone goes missing during a reunion. So I heard nothing but amazing reviews about this book, so I'm really excited. And Slewfoot was the other book that lost by 47%. This has been on my library TBR for like a few years now. So I was low-key hoping this would win so I can like also scratch this off of my physical TBR. And then last but not least, for the third book, we had a white book that won by 58%, and then we had a pink book that won by 42%. This one was also tied. For a while, the pink book was winning, but near the end, the white book won. And for this one, the white book was We Used to Live Here, which is a like queer horror story. Young queer couple who flip houses, Charlie and Eve, and they just got an old house where a family that claims that they used to live there show up one day and they're like, hey, we kind of want to take a look around this house. We used to live here. And they let them in, but now they won't leave. So I'm like, oh shit, this is another book I heard nothing but great reviews about. I'm really excited for that one. And the pink book that lost was What Moves the Dead by T.K. Fisher. This was also on my physical TBR for like ever. So this was another book I was hoping this would win so I can scratch off my TBR list. But hey, I mean, you guys made the final decision. So yeah, so the main books I'm going to be focusing on for this Summerween vlog is going to be We Used to Live Here, Monstrulio, and Jackal. So I'm super excited to get into these. That seems to be the TBR for this vlog. I did forget to mention in the other Summerween vlog, I did end up finishing, guys, Anathema. 5 stars. 5 stars. This book was absolutely beautiful, and the cliffhanger at the end, oh my god, I cannot wait for Eldritch book 2 to come out in September. September needs to come right now. Okay, September needs to come right now because the ending of this book had me gagged and it's just fantastic. Also, I just want to say real quick, all the shadow daddies can go home. Okay, they all need to be voted off the island because Zavander, he is number 1 shadow daddy. He's just number 1 shadow daddy. Okay, sorry, Rhysand needs to go home. Zayd needs to go home. He's not really like a shadow daddy, but he has some shadow daddy like abilities, but like not fully. But he's still up there. You know, he still has the characteristics of a shadow daddy in a romantasy. But I didn't mind. I didn't mind. I love this. Now, I will say that Anathema does have like all of your romantasy tropes, but the way that this book is written is you know, you can tell when a romantasy is just based off of tropes and they just throw tropes in just to like, I don't know, like satisfy a trope list. This book builds a story, okay, and fleshes out your typical romantasy tropes. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely love this. The atmosphere, the characters, it's so, so good. Like, I wasn't bored, like, not one time. And yeah, I devoured this. This was amazing. One of my favorite books of the year. I also forgot to mention in the previous vlog that I finished Tempting Alzid. 4 stars. I absolutely loved it. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And right now, I am finishing up Using Feiho. I'm like 100 pages away from finishing it, guys. It is a fantastic book. I absolutely love it. Me and the Clinkanian series, okay, they have me in a chokehold. I'm sucked in. I'm living for that series. I absolutely love it. It's bringing me so much joy, so much happiness. It's so good. I absolutely love it. But yeah, that is all of my reading plans for this Summerween vlog. I do, however, I do want to show you guys one more thing. So today is my husband's 30th birthday. We decided to go to our favorite secondhand store. It's called Second Charles. It's like a nerdy secondhand store. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before. And we go there a lot. And you know, I decided to spoil him because it is his birthday. And of course, I bought myself some stuff. And I wanted to share with you guys what I got. First things first, Catwoman on Blu-ray. I don't care what anybody says. I love this movie. Okay. This movie is so fun and it's so fantastic. Like 10 out of 10, love this movie. Shape of Water. One of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely loved it. Saw this like Blu-ray special edition and I'm like, heck yeah, you're coming home with me. Daredevil, the one with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Listen, Daredevil 2003 is just a very, very long Evanescence music video. And if you know, you know. Okay. And of course, I had to get Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse. So I have the first 3 movies. I have to go back and get Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. And I saw that they had Tusk Love. And it's the last one and it was a signed copy. And I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and grab this. This has been on like my TBR. This is like an anticipated read for me. I love Critical Role. I watch them on and off, and me and my husband love watching Vox Machina. And yeah, so when I found out about Tusk Love and it's a monster romance, I'm like, yeah, you're coming home with me. And look how beautiful this is. Are you joking? Like, this art is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that is all I wanted to show you guys from my secondhand haul. My husband also got some DVDs, but they're downstairs and he's actually like sorting through them right now because we need like, not only do we need more bookshelves for my books, but we need like another bookshelf dedicated to our DVDs because we are like really big right now on collecting physical media. Like, we are trying to build up our our DVD collection. So we're over here like, damn, we're gonna actually have to buy like a bookshelf. So IKEA trip probably coming up soon. It is hot as balls right now, guys. It was like 101 degrees, and yeah, I'm sweating bullets. I'm hot. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna start reading, and I am definitely feeling in better spirits than the last vlog. I don't know if you guys watched it, but in the last vlog at the end, I was like, bruh, the big sad is hitting hard, but I'm feeling a lot better right now, and I'm hoping I can continue riding that wave. And yeah, let's get to reading. Hey friends, so Monstrilio, I think that's how you pronounce it. So I am 46 pages in. I'm struggling. I am struggling a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It's very, how do I say this? The dialogue is very robotic. I don't think I went into detail what the book is about before I start giving you guys my thoughts, but we're following Magos, and her son Santiago only has one lung and he dies. He's like 11 years old when he dies, and she is like grieving the death of her son, and her husband is like withering away, falling apart, not being able to cope with his grief, and she decides to take a piece of lung from her son as like a token of him, and then she goes back to Mexico. Magos and her husband Joseph and her son Santiago are originally from Mexico, and they moved to New York to help with her son's breathing. They move like in some remote forested area in upstate New York so they can live somewhere where there's like fresh air to help Santiago breathe. And after Santiago's death and Magos taking a part of his lung, she's like, there's nothing here for me, and she leaves her husband, and like, so she leaves her husband in New York, comes back to Mexico, and she's just like staying with her mom, she's grieving, and then the housekeeper tells her a story about, in a village, a girl died, and they fed the girl, the dead girl, and she turned into the cousin's lover, and like there's just basically like a myth slash rumor about feeding like the dead. So Magos starts feeding the piece of lung she took from Santiago, and it grows into something. So that is the premise of Monstrillo, and that is as much as I read. And the premise sounds so good, right? But the problems that I'm having is the writing is very clunky to me, and the dialogue feels super robotic, and it's missing a lot of emotion. Like, we're supposed to be following a grieving mother, but it's very like, it reads like a screenplay adaptation, if that makes sense. Like, for example, Magos moved to the kitchen and watched her husband sob uncontrollably. She shrugged. I don't understand. She shook her head again and walked up the stairs. Like that. Like, there's no like flow to it. It's very clunky. It's very robotic. It's very like screenplay-ish. Like, it's just a lot of action, and it's honestly boring. It's actually very, very hard to keep my interest in this, but I'm trying. Like I said, I'm on page 46, and I was telling my husband about this yesterday, and I was upset because this is the first pick I'm reading from you guys from Instagram. You guys voted for this, okay? I'm like, y'all voted for me to read this, okay? I'm like, this cannot be a book idea now. I'm like, I have to power through this. I have to read this. I have to finish this. And my husband's like, just give it another 50 pages. And I'm like, okay, perfect, because I broke it up into 3 parts. So the first section would be 108 pages. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I should give it up to 108 pages and see if I should DNF or not. But I'm really struggling with this, you guys. I really am, which sucks because, again, the premise sounds so good, and I do like topics about grief. I feel like if it's done well, like if it's written well, it can be like a fantastic book. I'm just struggling with this. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm really struggling with this book, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try for another 50 pages. I'm gonna at least try to finish that first section, and I'll let you guys know if I end up DNFing this or not. Anyways, the horror. So I got the physical copy because your girl had to annotate this. This book, I am having a fantastic time with the horror. I absolutely love this book. Every time I pick it up, I can't put it down. I feel like it's gonna be a 5-star read. Like, look how much I've already tabbed, and it's such a good story. I feel like I didn't bring it up my intro clip. I think I totally forgot to talk about the horror. But in case you missed the previous vlog, the horror follows this elderly lady named Muriel, and she lives in this village called Witch Haven in Scotland. And I think I accidentally named the villain Peter Grant, but his name is actually Patrick Grant, and he's a billionaire that is trying to bulldoze, basically completely demolish the village and build a golf course. And Muriel and a few other elderly people are the only remaining people in Witch Haven that did not accept any buyout offers. So a lot of people have been bought out of their homes to make way for the renovations, and she's refused. Her friend Arthur has refused, and I feel like 2 other elderly couples have refused. And Muriel is very protective of Witch Haven because that is the town she grew up in, that's the town she met her husband, and that is the town where she has given birth to her children, and she has lived in that home that her husband built in Witch Haven for like most of her entire life. And so she refuses to like accept any money, any offers, and is trying to find a way to stop like Patrick Grant from basically destroying her home, destroying her town, and building this golf course. And it's a horror book, so of course some horror is starting to happen. The horror, which I found out while reading this book, is like this foggy mist that the sea like gives out, starts to like penetrate the village, and then it brings a mysterious monster into town, and shit starts happening. The graphic horror, there's a graphic scene that happens that I read at work during lunch that made me gasp so loud that my coworker was like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm okay." This book is just, this book does not hold back on gore, okay? So just, you know, trigger warning for that if you can't do gore, if you can't do blood, if you can't do anything like that. I know I can't, so this caught me by surprise, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, ooh, you know, but I still have to continue because I'm loving this book so much. I feel like this is gonna be a 5-star read. This is another book that talks about grief because Muriel's husband Billy died about 13 years ago, and it's brought up a lot, which is why she's like fighting for a reason to stay in Witch Haven and save Witch Haven. So grief is a big theme here, and just how like communities and just society in general like treats the elderly. They're treated like they're disposable. So that's like a really big theme that is explored here too, and it's just written so beautifully, and there's humor in this as well, so I was cracking up at certain parts. Let me share some quotes that I highlighted here. Like one chapter, Muriel is like beefing with the police, and she's trying to, you know, like tell the police that somebody did something. I can't tell you what exactly because that's a spoiler. And the cop is like, "I'll ask again, do you have any evidence to support your claim? Any witnesses?" And Muriel says, "I have God as my witness." And the cop replies, "And is he available to give a statement?" I'm sorry. I know that's like fucked up to say to her, and I love my girl Muriel down, but I busted out laughing so hard. I was like, that is so fucked up to say. Oh my God. But I was cracking up. There were other parts in here where one of the Patrick Grant workers was trying to like basically threaten Muriel off of her land, and Arthur, you know, was backing her up, protecting her. So this is like a dialogue between the worker and Arthur. The worker shook his head. "Listen, friend, we're just following orders." "I," said Arthur, like Nazi Germany. And I'm like, period. We need to bring that energy back and start telling people that, because I'm hearing that a lot in US politics. We're just following orders. We're just following the law. Very reminiscent. And here's another line on that same page that I had to highlight that Arthur says to the workers. "You know, money can buy a lot of things," said Arthur as he huffed his way towards them. "But it cannot buy decency. It cannot buy compassion. But it can buy a fucking shotgun." And that's when he pulls out a shotgun to threaten them. And I'm like, damn, okay, so this book has absolute bangers of quotes. And yeah, this is gonna be a 5-star read. I already know. So yeah, having a fantastic time with the horror. I'm really hoping I can finish this today because I only have like less than 100 pages left. Monstrulio. Again, we're gonna give another 50 pages and we'll go from there. I listened and finished Using FAO. Fantastic book. 5 stars.
Absolutely my favorite couple from the Quicanian series. Ate that shit up. Vanessa and FAO. They're both fucking crazy and toxic. Ooh. Ooh, I had an amazing time. Absolutely loved it. My favorite. And now I'm over halfway. I think I'm officially 75% into Resisting Maxu. And I'm also having a fantastic time. My friends kept telling me that like it gets better every book installment gets so much better. And like I fear they were right, because how do these books continue to be better than the last book? Although I will say, Using FAO is still my favorite. I'm loving and I'm eating up Resisting Maxu. I really, really am. And I love the couple. It's just really hard for me to talk about it, guys, because it's like, it's a series. So it's like, the deeper I am into like the series, the less I can say without it being like spoiler territory. But just trust me when I say, if you love fated mates, if you love alien romance, if you love sci-fi, I need you to shut up, subscribe to my channel first, then get off this video and download the book. Or buy the book, okay? Like, I need to spread God's word. And that is the Quicanian series. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, that's really about it. I have this last week left to basically chill and whatever, because next week, school starts. School starts next week. And I am super nervous, but really excited. So those are the updates for right now. All right, bye. Real quick, I know, like, it's been like an hour since the last clip, but there's an example I wanted to talk to you guys about what I'm talking about. Like, I didn't highlight it, but I tabbed it. Okay, so Lena, which is Magos's best friend, something like happened, right? And I'm just gonna read you like the last page on page 48, okay? I know, like, I'm not giving you any context, but just listen. It bit you. I scared it. Magos, please, we cannot keep this thing. It's not ours, it's mine. I put the lid back on the shoebox and tightened it with the belt. I set the box in the corner of my closet and slid the heavy wooden door shut. I picked up the pieces of the broken jar. It broke free, I said to Lena. It wants to live. Can I take it to the hospital now? The lung is not rabid. Did it seem rabid to you? Lena took me to the hospital. I got rabies shots. She insisted I get rid of the lung, the rodent as she called it. I said I would. Like, that is what I'm talking about how robotic this book feels. And like, I guess like you can say that it's Magos's grief that's like making her like her grief is making her robotic, because she is just like existing right now post her son's death. But I feel like you can demonstrate grief and sadness and emptiness and just existing in different forms. It's just yeah, I got to page 70. I don't know, like, I don't know. I really don't know, guys. Like, yeah, it's such a complex feeling because it's boring, but I kind of still want to know what's happening. But like, if I put this down now, I would not pick this up again. That is how I'm feeling. Like, if I finish this book, it's probably a 2-star. Like, it's giving 2 stars right now. But I don't know what to do. Damn, is this really gonna be the first DNF of this challenge? I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna see how far I can get before I call it quits. Hi, you're in my cabinet, but real quick, public service announcement. This makes the best coffee. Like, I don't know if I told you guys already, but I been into like drip coffee. Like, I bought a mocha pot and I used it a few times. I enjoyed it, but then my husband was like, oh, I want some coffee, and you know, a mocha pot doesn't really make that many cups. So I'm like, okay, well, let me pull out the good old Mr. Coffee drip coffee. And so I pulled that out so I can make more coffee for my husband and I. And I love this brand. Okay, I had their vanilla macadamia nut, finished that up, and then we went to the grocery store to get more coffee and, you know, other things. And we saw this new flavor, and it's Coconut Caramel Crunch by Kua Coffee. The best coffee I have ever had. Legit, hands down. Like, I Don't put that much creamer because the taste of the caramel crunch is so good. And like the coconut taste isn't that powerful either, because like I love coconut, but I hate it when it's too coconutty. No. Hands down, best coffee. Take a screenshot. Let me move my face out of the way. Yeah. This right here. I'm telling you. And then of course I have, you know, the good old Café Bustelo. Like, this is all you need. If you have the mocha pot or coffee drip machine, this is all you need. Okay? Okay.
Hi, new hair. Who is this? Who is this diva with this hair? Oh my God, she looks like October. She looks like a pumpkin. Um, yeah. What do you guys think? I got my hair done on Friday. Today is Sunday, August 10th. It has been a very crazy week. Literally, it's been nonstop for me. I had to do some part two of my library training. So it was like 8 hours in a classroom Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, um, I was all day at the hair salon because my hairstylist had to squeeze in one of his regulars because of some sort of like shipment issues. And yeah, it was just a mess. And so he was working on me and her at the same time, which put us way behind schedule. And I was literally there from like 1:30 till 9:30. So it was like an 8 hour job. Oh my God. That was crazy. And then I worked this whole weekend at the library as well. And yeah, I am exhausted, but I do have updates for you guys. This Instagram picks my Summerween reads has been absolutely hilarious to me because y'all, I DNF'd Monster Leo. I just could not keep going. I think I stopped at page, like I got to the next POV. I think it was like page 90. It was page 85. That's where I decided to DNF it. I just couldn't, the writing was just, I just couldn't get into it. And I think I might have mentioned this in my previous clip. I don't know if this is the author's way of showing how the mother is grieving, how like what's the word, distant and closed off she is, like very like one worded speech. But it wasn't just the POV of the mom. It was like everybody's dialogue was very simple, very like screenplay ish dialogue, and I just could not get into it. And then when we switched POVs, I was just like, no, I can't. So I completely lost interest. I couldn't keep going. The writing was just not doing it for me. And I'm so upset. Like I have been wanting to read this forever and it has been on my physical TBR forever. So yeah, I was really disappointed when I DNF'd this one. And in other news, I also DNF'd the second pick that you guys picked for me, which is Jackal. And this one, we're following Liz as she comes home to a very white town in Pennsylvania. And there's only a few Black people. And there has been a history of Black women or Black girls that have been like kidnapped, murdered. And so this, honestly, when I started reading this, it read more of a mystery thriller, and I'm not really the biggest fan of thrillers and mysteries. Like it has to be like really captivating, like really, really good for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna read this mystery slash thriller. Freedom McFadden, I blame you for kind of like ruining the thriller genre for me because okay. Anyways, yeah, so there wasn't a lot of horror aspect into this. I didn't give you guys much of an update when I started reading this because immediately 10 pages in, I was like, I'm not feeling this. And I got further into it and I was like, no, like I couldn't stand Liz, the main character. I don't know, something about her personality. I was like, oh my God, she's annoying. I don't want to read. I don't want to be in her head. I don't want to be in her head. Again, this felt more like a murder mystery, and there's supposed to be some supernatural like elements in here, but like it was genuinely missing the horror for me. So yeah, this was a DNF. And I was talking to some of my friends. I was like, kind of stressed out about this video because this is my first like Instagram picks my TBR kind of challenge. And I always try to like do different things for my YouTube channel, try different things, try different challenges, just to keep it, fun, entertaining. And I was stressing out that I already DNF'd 2 books that y'all picked for me. And I was like, should I scrap this video? Should I what should I do? And my friends are so, oh my God, they're just so fucking like amazing and supportive. And they're like, no, just, keep it going, keep pushing. Like, this is part of the challenge, this is part of the fun. You have no control over like your reads, and blame you guys. Blame you guys. I blame you guys for picking shitty books, okay? That's why we have 2 DNFs, because y'all picked shitty books for me to read. No, I'm just kidding. All love from here, guys. All love from here. But yeah, no, they were amazing. They were supportive. They were like, no, just keep going, because the perfectionist side of me is like, we're going to delete this video and like do something different. But I'm like, nope, this is part of the challenge. And how fun would it be if they were all 5-star bangers, right? Like it's supposed to be fun, out of your control type of reading. So yeah, 2 DNFs. And we do have one last pick, and that is We Used to Live Here. So I decided to actually get this on audio because I need an audiobook to listen to work and back, because I finished Resisting Maxu and I finished the short novella, which is Releasing Maledict. And I gave Resisting Maxu 5 stars. That ending was insane to me. Insanity. I literally gasped. I gasped. And my husband was like, what's going on? What happened? And I had to break him. I literally spent like almost an hour breaking down the whole Clickanian series to him. And he was like, oh my God, I would have like been shook at that ending. I'm like, yeah. And then the novella, Releasing Maledict, I was actually technically supposed to read that before Resisting Maxu, but it didn't really like affect it plot wise. Is just like chronologically, I was supposed to read that before Resisting Maxu, so I was like, oh shit, let me read that. So those are the 2 audiobooks I finished, and those have been like my comfort listens when I'm just like driving around. And I could go on to book 7, but the audiobook for book 8 doesn't come out until October. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to listen to book 7 and book 8 together in October. And I'm like, damn, I need another audiobook. And I did start because I need an alien romance, right? Desire in His Blood. I hate the narrators. I am so sorry. I got like 2 chapters into it. Absolutely despise the female and the male voice actors. No, absolutely not. But I did start reading it physically, like just on my Kindle. I'm absolutely having an amazing time. I love Desire in His Blood. It's so fun. It's so good. I'm like almost 100 pages into it. I'm like eating it up. I was reading it mostly like at the hair salon on Friday. But y'all, the audiobook, trash. Absolutely not. I do not recommend the audiobook. But the actual book itself, fantastic time. It's Vampire Alien Berserkers. That's all you need to know. Vampire Alien Berserkers, okay? So anyways, this whole tangent, right? Just to tell you guys, I decided to get this on audio. We Used to Live Here by Marcus Clyware. And this is the third pick that you guys chose for me. And I'm already like 2 chapters in. I was listening to it on my way home from work. I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm already like, ooh, this is gonna piss me off, but like in a good way. And we're following Eve and her girlfriend Charlie. They buy homes and they flip homes. And the project that they're currently working on now is like a very old Victorian house that they purchased in the Pacific Northwest. And Eve is at home and she's just like, working on the house at home. Charlie is out in town. I think she's at work or something, or picking up some stuff for their date night. And Eve hears the doorbell ring and she opens it to a family. So it's a father, a mom, a daughter, and 2 sons. And the father's like, oh my God, we used to live here, we were in town visiting and I wanted to show my children like my old childhood home. And I wanted to know if like you would give me a tour so my children can see like what I grew up in and just like reminisce on my childhood home. And Eve, she is a certified people pleaser. And as like a former, well, I don't want to say completely former because I still sometimes do have my people pleasing moments. I just don't like upsetting people. And it's not as bad as it used to be, y'all. Like, it used to be really bad. But she is a certified people pleaser. And she tried calling her girlfriend, and her girlfriend's phone kept going to voicemail, and she's like, fuck, like, I'm gonna turn these people down on my own, and I don't like upsetting people. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna turn them down. And she did. And they're like, okay, all right, well, I understand. We did like just randomly show up, blah, blah, blah. So the family, they're like quirky, weird, whatever. And Eve's like, oh, yeah, okay, well, like, sorry. And then, like, as they're leaving, she gets like this wave of immense guilt. And she's like, wait, hold on. Like, y'all can like tour the house for like 15 minutes. And that's where I left off. And the premise is that these people don't leave. All I know is I was cussing Eve out in my car. I was like, you stupid bitch. Why would you agree to it? I like, if someone knocked on my door and like, oh, you used to live here, like I want to, I'd be like, no, I don't care. I really don't care. Please leave my property. Like, you're not touring my house. Goodbye. But like Eve, being Eve, was like, yeah, okay, come in. Yeah, so yeah, I'm already vibing with the audiobook. I really like the voice actress. She's doing like a really good job. And I'm really hoping this is a winner in y'all's picks, okay? Because 2 DNFs, I'm like, please, something just needs to be good, okay? Like, I'll be happy with like a 3-star read, okay? So let's just cross our toes and our fingers, and let's hope this is the one that we like really like. And another update, the Har. I finished the Har. 5 freaking stars. This is genuinely one of my favorite reads of the year. Like, look at those tabs. Okay. Spectacular. Beautiful. The themes in this book is just so beautifully written, and it's, oh my God. I love how this book captures horror, humor, grief. It hits like every feeling ever. And yeah, this is fantastic book. The ending is so bittersweet, and it genuinely just made me like reflect on my own mortality. And yeah, basically one of the biggest takeaways is definitely tell the people in your life that you love them, and do all the things you want to do, or try to do all the things you want to do, and don't live your life in regret. That's like one of the biggest takeaways. Also, rich people suck, but I didn't need the Har to tell me that. In this house, we eat the rich, okay? We don't fuck with billionaires. Anyways, those are the reading updates for now. As for other books I want to read, I'm in this weird ass reading mood. I don't know if it's because I'm feeling kind of down that I DNF 2 books. But I just kind of started like browsing my home library and Kindle Unlimited to see like what else I can read for this reading vlog. And I decided, and I know like some of you might be surprised. I decided to give Meg Smitherman another try. In case you guys aren't familiar, last year I read Thrum by her. Absolutely did not enjoy the book. That book was marketed as romance, horror, thriller. It was like a bunch of like genres in one, and it's a short story. She writes short stories, and I wasn't feeling it, didn't like it, but I decided to give her another chance because she came out with two more short novels, Swallowed and Entity, and she seems to like lean towards sci-fi horror, which I really do like sci-fi horror. And it has to do with plants, which by the way, I love plant horror. Like, if there's one thing you should take from this vlog, guys, The Ruins by what's his name? What is his name? I can't believe I forgot his name. Okay, by Scott Smith. That is absolutely one of my favorite books of all time. If you love dread and plant horror and gore and just like existential horror, that's like the best way I can describe this. Like existential horror, dread, no hope, plant horror, gore. Like, if you love that shit, please read The Ruins. It is one of my favorite books of all time. It's so good. This is plant horror. Okay, this is plant horror, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna give her a chance. I'm all about giving authors second chances because guess what? Not all books can be bangers. That's just the truth. Not all books can be bangers. So I'm like, okay, Thrum didn't work for me, but maybe Swallowed will work for me. I don't remember the synopsis from the top of my head, but all I know is that she's doing kind of like the same formula where she mashes a few genres in one. So sci-fi horror, romance, thriller, I think. So yeah, When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. I talked about this briefly in the part 1 of Summerween, and I didn't get to it, so I'm hoping maybe I can get to it in this video. But those are my other options that I'm kind of like looking at to read for this video since the other two books that you picked for me didn't work. And yeah, so I don't work tomorrow, and I think tomorrow after the gym is going to be a read all day because I need to read, y'all. Like, I have not been able to sit down and relax. This is the first time I'm able to sit down, relax, and record because it's just been so busy. And yeah, so I will keep you guys updated with my reads. I'm gonna go read now.
Hi, you are propped up against my water bottle. I have my cafe. Some reading updates. Swallowed by Meg Smitherman. I DNF this. Yeah, I don't think she's the author for me. It's literally the same issues I was having with Thrum. I just don't like, we have scientists in Thrum and then we have scientists in Swallowed, but they're the least scientist people I have ever met. The characters in Swallowed are supposed to be like in their 30s, but they act like a bunch of teenagers, and I don't mind banter in my books. I love banter. I love a good humor. Like, example, The Har, like, beautiful, loved it. The banter in this was good. This just feels like I stumbled across a bunch of teenagers and they're just randomly beefing with each other and shooting their shit, which is fine. But like, I feel like we haven't really been introduced to the characters to kind of like understand their dynamic. So it was like very strange to just be like thrown into that immediately. And then it just read very immature. And again, the scientists in her 2 books that I have read so far, they just don't act like scientists. I've noticed with Thrum and Swallowed, it's so superficial with the sci-fi, and it's the same thing. Like, there's too many like genres thrown in there, and the book is so short that we don't really get to explore any of the genres, and they just are just so superficial. Like, the sci-fi is superficial, the horror is superficial, like the thriller is superficial, like the romance is, it's just not. I just think for a short novel, sticking to one genre is what's going to like will give you the ability to like really expand, like deep dive into that genre and like make a really good compelling story. So it's either like she needs to stick to one genre, or she needs to write a longer novel, because she has these really good ideas. And I'm like, damn, like the ideas are there, but like I just don't like her writing. And yeah, so I just don't think that Meg is for me. And I DNF'd it at page 25 or something, 30, 25, 30. Yeah, it's not gonna work out for me. So I did decide though to start reading When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. I am on page 21. I just love aardvark books. Like, this feels like butter. It's so soft. And y'all, I'm having a fantastic time. I am having the best time right now. We are following Jess, who works at a diner. The story starts though with this boy. We don't know what his name is, and he is hiding from his father, who's having like a full-on like rage. He's like destroying the house looking for his son because his son is hiding from him. And then we get to learn more about the boy and like his living conditions. And trigger warning for that, child abuse. Child abuse is in this. So we start off the book with that, and then we switch to Jess, and it's not first person, it's like third person, and she's working at a diner, and she's like 31 or 32 or 30, like she's in her 30s. And this is also, guys, very like daddy issues heavy. Like, we're exploring daddy issues. She is in her head a lot, and I really do like this I guess split in her brain, which is like inner Jess, outer Jess. She's like cleaning the bathroom, and she's just been trying to ignore like this building grief of her father's passing, because she's like, oh, he was a deadbeat, he didn't care about me, I don't care. She's trying to like act like she doesn't care, but like her inner Jess is like asking all these questions, like, why wasn't I enough? Why didn't he care about me? And she's like literally like having like a mental breakdown in this bathroom she's cleaning. And it's just so good. It's written very well, and I'm very excited to see what happens in this book. I have been wanting to read this ever since I got it, ever since I heard about it, but yeah, I'm finally getting to it. Really, really liking this. Also, I am 2 hours into We Used to Live Here. Already, everybody's pissing me off. Like, this all could have been avoided if Miss Eve, would have just put her foot down and be like, y'all need to get out of my house, okay? But now this family is being mad weird, acting like they own the place, and her girlfriend Charlie is not like picking up on the vibes, and it's stressing me out. I can tell this book is gonna stress me out, so I'm hopeful for the rest of this video, and I will be back with more updates.
Hey friends, wow, we finally made it to the end of this vlog that I am not, I don't want to say the word proud of, but like not like happy with this has been an interesting vlog. I have been sick for a week. I have been struggling with a cold for the past week. Today is Wednesday the 20th, Wednesday, August 20th. And I'm finally feeling like myself today. Like I'm still a little sniffly. I'm still like tired, but today's the first day since last week that I'm feeling back to normal. And it has been an absolute struggle. But I do have some reading updates for you guys. I did finish We Used to Live Here, and absolutely hated this book. 2 stars. It was just, I'm trying to be nice, because if you go on Goodreads, this book has like a 4 point something like star rating, like average rating. Like people love this book, and I was cracking up because a few of my bookish friends, I've seen their reviews, and they've given it 4 to 5 stars, and I'm just like, oh, we must have read completely different books because this is like one of the worst books I read this year. I absolutely hated this book. I thought the narrator though was like really good. The 2 stars is just for the narrator. Like I thought she did really, really good. And some of the cool sound effects in the background was really cool too. But I absolutely hated the story. And I just don't like stories that, well, horror novels that use mental illness as like the horror. And it's just not like, I don't know, I just feel like it's outdated. I feel like it's 2025 and we kind of need to hang up that trope of, is she fucking crazy or is this like horror, you know? Like I mean, I've so some psychological horror can be good if done right, but I just personally feel like this wasn't done right and I just didn't really fuck with it. And another thing that really grinded my gears was that Charlie and, wow, I already forgot the main character's name. What's her name? Eve. Charlie and Eve are a queer couple. They're a lesbian couple. But where was the lesbianing? There was no lesbianing in this. Like if the author didn't tell me that this was a couple and they didn't call each other partners, they literally could have just been besties. Like, and I would never have known that. Like there was no chemistry. There was no like, they did not act like a couple. And that shit grinded my gears. I'm like, I wanted like chemistry, love, like what's going on? It was just, the relationship was not written well. That really bugged me. I just they did not act like a couple to me, and I was disappointed in that. And it's just like, Eve pissed me off as a character. She really pissed me off as a character. She is dumb to me. And I was talking to some of my bookish friends about it, and they were like, okay, well, when you read some horror books, like somebody has to make a stupid decision in order for the plot to move. And I get it. I totally get it. Not everybody can make smart choices in a horror book because like that's the point. But like she was just like fucking pissing me off. And Charlie was also pissing me off because if my girlfriend came up to me and was like, yo, like there is some crazy shit happening in this house. These people are crazy. The people who are overstaying their welcome are crazy and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, like I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna be like, okay, the house is haunted. These people are whack. Like, what's our game plan? Like, I'm not gonna doubt you. I'm not gonna second guess you. Like, Charlie just, that's what I mean. Like, they weren't a united front, and it was pissing me off. And I was just not, I was just not vibing with the book. Like, everybody was making me mad. Um, the the way that the premise was written seemed like the horror was gonna come from the actual family. No, they really didn't do much but add to like the creepy, scary vibes, and that's about it. Yeah, no, it was straight booty cheeks. Did not like the book, but I didn't want to DNF it because obviously I already DNF'd 2 books that Instagram chose for me. So I was like, no, Michelle, we are finishing this book and we're going to finish it. We're going to give it a rating. And honestly, I kind of forgot how much fun it is to sometimes hate read something because I was just eating this up, but not in like a, obviously like this is such a good book, more of like a, ooh, I can't wait to give y'all my review because I'm so fucking mad. So I need to hate read a little bit more instead of like always DNFing. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to my reading advice, okay? Because I'm always like the type of person that's gonna be like, DNF that book, DNF that book. But like lately, I feel like I've been DNFing way too much. And I, as a certified hater, have been missing hate reading stuff, so I might be back on that bullshit, but who knows? I don't know. We'll see what the vibes are, but it was fun to hate read. We Used to Live Here, 2 stars, straight booty cheeks. Okay, tomato, 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 not a good book. But you know what is a good book? When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. This book is so good. I gave the initial story 4 stars, but then I read the afterword by Nat Cassidy, and that made me so emotional that I cried and bumped this up to 5 stars. It was so good. I'm so glad I read the afterword because it added so much depth, and there were so much more connections made in the story, and the metaphors made sense to me. Like things clicked after reading the afterword. I was like, oh, because I don't remember if I think I did give you guys like a synopsis what this is about, but basically we're following Jess, and she is a waitress at a diner, and she lives in LA. She's trying to make it as an actress, and she works the graveyard shifts at a diner. And throughout the day, she does auditions, and she has daddy issues, right? She finds out that her dad died. She's grieving, but she's trying not to grieve because she's like, fuck that asshole, whatever. And she's a very lonely person, and the only person she can call her friend is her mom. And one night she, stumbles upon this kid who we don't know his name, but she nicknames him Kiddo, and he is running away from his abusive father. It gets very campy and very wacky throughout the story, but after reading the afterword, which if you're going to read this, please read the afterword. It really does make things click throughout the book. Like, this is the type of book where I would recommend reading it a second time because, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but, like, yeah, you're going to be like, oh, okay. But basically, the book is about anxiety, fear, the fear of dying. And that seems to be like a lot of the books I've been reading lately. It's just like the common theme is like death, dying, the fear of dying. And that explores this daddy issues, mommy issues, fear controlling your life. Yeah, it really resonated with me as an anxious girly who has a fear of dying and who has mommy and daddy issues. Yeah, if you have daddy issues, proceed with caution. And I'm not gonna lie, like, when I got to the middle part of this book, it took a turn. And this is like when the wacky, campy stuff started happening. And I was kind of like, it kind of like threw me out of the book for a little bit. And I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, but I'm like, okay, I refuse to DNF. So we're going to keep it moving. Like, we're not doing that. And I'm so glad I pushed through because it kind of like everything started falling into place. And it's just so good. This was such a wild ride, a very emotional driven book. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. 5 freaking stars. Please read this. Now I want to read Mary by Nat Cassidy. I heard that one's also a very, very well written book. So that is on my list to read. And yeah, that's it. Oh, I forgot to mention, I finally watched Alien Romulus the other night with my husband. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It wasn't a bad movie. Like everyone really hyped this movie up. They're like, oh my god, it's so good, it's so good. It's like up there with the OG Alien movies. And yeah, I mean, like, it was a really good movie, but nothing beats the OG Alien movie. Okay, that's like one of the best movies ever fucking made, and I will always stand on that statement. Okay, like one of the best movies ever made, Alien. Okay, and nothing will ever top that. I have accepted that. I have accepted that. No alien movie ever that comes out will ever top that movie. But Alien Romulus was still pretty good. Like I said, I gave it an 8 out of 10. There were some parts where I feel like was a little rushed. I think what I really, really loved about the Alien movie was how much of a slow burn it was. And the xenomorph, I think, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it only had 2 minutes of like screen time throughout the whole movie just to build that horror. And I just feel like in Alien Romulus, like, there wasn't enough slow burn, and it was a little bit more actiony. But other than that, it was still a good movie. I had fun watching it. Near the end was cray cray. Me and my husband were like, "Oh my god, that was crazy." Yeah, I do like the homages to the first Alien movie. I really appreciated those, and I just feel like we're watching the OG Alien movie now. But yeah, so that's it for this vlog. I'm so sorry this is like all over the place. I did not anticipate me getting sick for a week. That sucked ass. Yeah, if you made it to the end of this vlog, leave a ghost emoji. And yeah, I hope you guys still enjoyed Summerween Part 1 and Part 2. And let me know down below, like, if you're reading any horror books or if you have any horror book recommendations. I love a good horror book. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't to get more chaotic videos from me. And I'll see you guys in the next reading vlog. Bye.